Hey guys, welcome to New India Junction College Debates. Today we are going to talk about depreciation and the effect that it has on the Indian economy. Today I am here with...
Hi, this is Katyayani Ragvanshi. I'm pursuing my bachelor's in computer science, BSc Honours Computer Science from Shahid Rajguru College.
Hi, this is Nimisha Raj. I'm from Computer Science Department from Shahid Rajguru College of Applied Sciences for Women.
Hello, I'm Shruti Sadwal and I do Physics Honours from Shahid Rajguru College of Applied Sciences from Delhi University.
So today specifically, you guys can keep the mic, we're going to be talking about the devaluation of the rupee in comparison to the US dollar and what it means for the Indian economy. So the first question that I have for you guys is now as of today, I believe when you do the exchange rate, $1 US is equivalent to 72.52. That's what I have in my notes as of a couple of hours ago. That is the value of the rupee. This is due to several global factors, right? One can be US sanctions. One is the steady interest rate that's going on in the USA. Does someone want to go over these global factors in detail?
INR is always expressed in some other form of currency. Usually the benchmark is the US dollar. And any strengthening or weakening of the US dollar has a proportionate effect on the Indian rupee and the US dollar exchange rate. And there are many factors that affect the fall of value of Indian rupee. And one of them is the increase in value of crude oil prices. Every $10 per barrel rise in the price will worsen India's fiscal balance by 0.1% and current account balance by 0.4% of the GDP, according to the Nomura Group. And Import Bill India, that is the third largest crude oil producer after US and China, imports about 1,575 million tons of crude oil every year. And every dollar increase in crude oil prices increases its annual value to around $1.6 billion. That is approximately equal to 10,000 crore rupees.
Yeah, and then I believe that the India actually imports 70% of
yes, exactly.
On crude oil, yeah, from the USA. So what other factors are there? Now there are other countries as well that are involved, right?
Some other factors include hike in interest rates in the federal banks in US.
Yep.
And every increase in interest rates in US also increases the strength of US dollar, which also weakens the Indian rupee. The relationship is inversely proportionate because every time the value of dollar strengthens, the Indian rupee weakens because the investors are more attracted to the US economy. They prefer US economy over Indian market.
So let's talk a little bit about global investment, right? So the idea is to now make the Indian economy more globally attractive, right, to global investors, I would say. So how can we do this? Because now the impact on the common man with the rising of the rupee, right? It's impacting everyone here, right? Like our rates are higher, products are higher, prices of products are higher. Does someone want to talk a little bit about that? The impact on the common man?
As we saw that due to devaluation of Indian rupee, imports are going high.
Yep.
So what the basic reason is that when we had the relation of rupees 60 for $1, we had to pay 60 to get $1. And now due to increase in, devaluation of rupee, we have to pay 70.53 as you said.
72.52.
Okay, 72 point, sorry.
As of this afternoon.
Okay, 72.53. So basically what we Indians are facing a lot because of this. We import 70% of crude oil of our requirements from the US. And palm oil, fertilizers, these are the things that we get imported. And as we see that palm oil, which is used as a standard to set up the rates of edible oil. So if palm oil is expensive, of course all the edible oils will be expensive, and it's used also in shampoos and soaps that we use daily. So it would of course affect the common man.
Do you feel that this is good because demonetization, the same thing happened, correct? So I would say when you said the rupee was worth 60, $1 US is worth 60, that was back in 2016. Now it's 2 years later, right? So this has been kind of an ongoing thing, right? We've just seen depreciation occur for the past 2 years. But a lot of people are in favor of reforms like the GST and demonetization, right? Because the trend is now going towards digitization. Yeah. So cashless payments, GST makes things more transparent, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel...
Only one tax we had to pay. Earlier we had to pay several
a lot,
taxes.
Right? And then half the people didn't even know, like, it
many
wasn't
were not
transparent.
paying.
Exactly. So now when we're looking at you said before that it hurts the common man, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that eventually this would be good for the economy? What is happening to our economy now? How can we fix it? Is this just a natural trend that's occurring due to global factors, or do you think something needs to be done about it?
Earlier, they were not in favor of GST, but now everyone is understanding that it's finally in our favor.
Yeah. What about other reforms?
Everything is online now, e-commerce and shopping and everything.
So when we're talking about reforms, why do you feel that? Now she just mentioned e-commerce, correct? So e-commerce is a booming industry in India right now. Why is this good?
First thing is, post demonetization, the government didn't take any corrective measures that could improve the Indian economy. And e-commerce played a huge role to negate that effect. Online shopping sites like Amazon, Flipkart, they actually provided a platform where we can do cashless transactions, and with this actually the corruption is somewhat curbed because we know why demonetization was it was a necessary step, and actually every coin has two sides. Demonetization is both good and bad.
Okay.
And e-commerce played a huge role to
Check it back.
yes.
Okay.
E-commerce is a booming industry in Indian economy right now. Like in the 1990s, the IT industry was a huge deal back then, and 2010s will be remembered for the e-commerce industry. Right now, e-commerce contributes around 0.2% of the GDP,
Yes.
and it's about to grow around 15 times to 2.5% by 2030. I think without e-commerce, we could not have even thought about what could have happened after demonetization, because we know how e-commerce actually helped in negating the effect of demonetization, and many people suffered because of demonetization.
So you feel that if depreciation continues, right, something like e-commerce will check it back. E-commerce and other factors as well will check it back and balance it out.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about study abroad, right? Now because of depreciation, I think I have statistics with me. Basically, let's say that it costs you, if you want to go to school in the USA, right? It costs you around 50,000 US dollars, right? So that translates to how many lakhs? About 32.4 lakh rupees. Now, because of depreciation, you have to add, instead of, as you said, 60 before, now we're at 72, over 72. So it would be approximately another little over 4 lakhs that is added. So now students have to arrange for that extra 4 lakhs, which is a significant amount of money. So what do you guys feel? Now you guys are studying, like I'm already done, at least for now. But like, what do you feel? Do you feel that does this discourage you from studying abroad? Will you guys still consider studying abroad, or will you decide, no, it's too much, like I'll stay here?
I had no plan to go abroad to study.
You had no plan, so you wanted to be here the entire time?
I wanted to study in India.
Why
itself.
is that?
Actually, my main aim was to study in DU and pursue my computer science honours, and of course my masters also.
Okay.
But if we take in the scenario over here, then many students do like to go abroad and complete their studies over there. So of course they will, it would be a setback for them that they have to pay more for getting studies over there. And one more thing, then if they have to travel to abroad, then it would also cost them more, because of course they have to pay more to get $1. I mean, if we are taking an example, they have to pay more to get $1 or $2.
Exactly.
So of course, for buying things, for staying over there, for studying, for going over there, for taking the expenses, for talking and all, they have to pay more. So of course, students will have a great setback due to it.
Nimisha, what do you think?
They'll have to pay more because of earlier they'll for $1 they were paying 60 rupees, and now they'll have to pay 72 rupees, and in bulk it will multiply a lot. So for every expenses they'll have to pay more. So before going, they'll have to think what about all the expenses.
Did you have plans to go study abroad, or you wanted to stay in India?
Not now, but we'll
so how
see.
do you, so if you're saying we'll see, and if you're considering it, right, wherever you want to go, whether it's the USA, whether it's Europe, whether it's anywhere, you will have to basically pay more, right, if you want to go in the next year or two.
Yeah.
So does that discourage you from going, or do you still say,
No,
like,
if
no, I'll still
someone
consider?
has thought that I'll go, nothing can discourage.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily discourage you from going.
Yeah.
It's just that you'll have to take a double think on
yeah.
my living expenses to even buying like, something like a
All the expenses.
burger or something will be like more, right?
Yeah.
Now, okay, cool. What do you think?
We can take student loans. There are student loans, and while studying abroad, most of the students do part-time job, and it's actually a norm there. Part-time job is not something which is sneezed upon. You can do a part-time job and you can study. With student loans, I hope these expenses can be managed. And yes, it would be difficult to pay the student loans afterwards if we don't get a proper job. If you're planning to study abroad, I think you are that well prepared and that determined to pursue your studies abroad.
And do you think that now, like, we are, I guess, students of privilege where we can actually consider taking out loans and going overseas and studying, right? What about those that cannot in the country? Do you feel that, they have to basically stay over here? So what do you feel is, when we're talking about paying more, right, for living expenses and things like that, what is the impact on those students?
Yeah, I think the government is doing, but government should put more effort in doing all this.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit in terms of what do you think that they're doing? Like, they are giving loans.
Yeah.
I personally, I feel that that's a really good thing, because I had not seen that
Earlierly
happen
it was
before.
not happening, but now after Modi government, they are giving loans and other facilities to the student who want to study abroad.
It's a good thing. So now let's talk a little bit about, let's pivot back into depreciation, and let's talk a little bit about how it's helping the export industry, right? Now India actually is more stronger on, I would say, imports versus exports, right? Our manufacturing industry is weak. So this is where in the past, China's economy accelerated because their manufacturing was very strong. Unlike China, our manufacturing industry is not so strong. However, people that export, for example, things like textiles, things like jewelry, right, gems, these people are benefiting quite a bit due to depreciation. What are your thoughts on that?
Modi government has started the Make in India program. Due to Make in India program, the Indian economy is going forward, and not only that, even some movies are also made on it, like Anushka Sharma and Varun Dhawan starring Sui Dhaga, made in India. Not only that, tourism programs are also made, like those of in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, like Madhya Pradesh ka dil dekho. So I think the Indian economy is going forward because of Make in India program and because of some tourism programs that is undertaken by the Modi government.
So what about, like, Arun Jaitley has recently said, right, they've taken basically steps, right? So some of the steps were basically encourage more exports, right, to keep it simply. Encourage exports, like what you're saying, Make in India. Encourage more people to start exporting, right? The other thing that they're doing is like manufacturing entities, right? So people that actually manufacture things, they're helping them out, because now there's a regulation that they have to withhold for 3 years. So that was replaced to only 1 year. Do you feel that this is a good thing? And do you feel that this is going to help us survive?
Yes, I think to some extent this is a good thing, and if that applies to all sectors of people,
Okay.
Like from lower class to middle class to upper class,
Right.
like all can avail it. Like the scholarship schemes, only underprivileged students can avail it. Like the lower middle class people can avail the scholarship schemes. And what about the middle class families? Most of the middle class families, they fall into neither category.
Yeah.
They neither can pay huge lump sums amount of money, neither can they take the scholarship amounts. This situation kind of puts them into a fix, because people like us, who belongs to the middle class family, they can either think of some higher aims, nor they can think of taking the scholarships. And if these masala loans, they are equivalent to these scholarships, then I think the middle class families may not benefit from this.
The election is coming up in 2019, right? So do you feel that, is your faith, I guess what I'm saying, in terms of all the reforms that you've studied, is your faith in the hands of, would you give your faith in the hands of the Modi government?
according to my point of view, I feel that not the best, but they can take care of the country good as compared to other leaders. Because as we observed in the last 5 years, good changes came into India which were not even thought before. For example, the GST, the demonetization, and then e-commerce is in its full verse now, right now. Not full, but yeah, it's going on a on a growing trade right now. So I think, yeah, Modi government is doing good. And if we provide them some more time, then I think they would do much better. Okay. As we can see that, yeah, demonetization gave some setbacks to people at the beginning. It also helped us in getting rid of some, not fully, but some corruption. Right. And then also we started some digitization works that and some Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Andolan kind of things, like students have been uplifted now, right now, and some loans to send students foreign to study, educational loans, and many things he has provided. Okay. So I do really feel that, yeah, we should provide Modi one more chance.
What do you think?
Yeah, I also think that we should provide Modi government the next in 2019 the seat.
And why do you feel that way?
Because in not every aspect, but it's better than other leaders. Like in last 5 years, as she said, that the reforms and whatever came were never thought ever before, the digitalization and everything. So we should give the Modi government more time.
So what do you feel, because now both of you have said more time, right? What do you feel more time will do? Do you think these policies will come full, like maybe we were talking about e-commerce, right? It's on that upward curve. Yeah. So do you feel that Modi,
the acceleration in which they are coming, if we'll give more time, they'll obviously be set in better scenario.
And then we'll benefit fully from them. Okay.
When we are talking about the depreciation here, depreciation of the Indian rupee, then we actually did not panic so much, because comparing with other countries like the Argentine peso, the African rand, and the Turkish lira, the Indian rupee is performing very well. And like for example, the African rand lost about 40% of its initial value, and compared to that, India is faring very well actually. And so I think we should give Modi government one more chance.
Because they caused us not to panic, or because we're staying afloat basically better than other countries statistically?
It's the latter part actually.
Okay.
Because in most of the Asian countries, similar kind of problems are noticed, and the Indian rupee compared to the other Asian countries, Indian rupee is faring very well.
Okay.
NIJ is phenomenal.